Scott. I love speeches about family and fond memories, etc. And grandparents is actually one of my favorite topics. So the fact that you gave something about your grandparents immediately caught my attention. And you had such great visual language today. So I'm going to read just a moment. Big Brutus, Mr. Black and Blue, and your grandmother shooting squirrels and goats, which totally at this point in time, we could get some good videos and they could go viral, but darn it, I didn't have a time, but I'd love to see grandma shooting squirrels. It sounds like what a rural grandmother might do, right? And so to me, that was really great language. So that helped bring us into your speech, and it helped us feel some of the feelings, because obviously you had great affection for your grandparents and that you spent a lot of time with them. So you told us several stories. You were worried that they might be disjointed and maybe slightly, but they're stories about your grandparents, so they do have a common theme. And so all that is goodness. Some things to think about. I couldn't tell if you were reading off the screen. You had some notes here and you were looking at them, and then on the screen your eyes were going like this. They were going back and forth. And so I couldn't tell if you were looking at people or if you had notes on your screen also. We talked last week, I did a Toastmaster tip and I talked about memorizing, etc. I know memorizing is hard when we're so distracted, and you only had a couple days to prepare. So that is a minor thing in this whole thing. But I think what it does do is we all need to pay attention to our camera. So I am looking at the camera. I'm not looking at the screen when I talk. There is an executive, as I said, I work at T-Mobile, and there's an executive vice president there, and she is the bomb with engaging you in video calls. And this is what she does. She looks straight at the camera and she talks to you. And most of the time when people talk, you kind of get distracted with email, etc. Not with her. You watch and you listen because it looks like she's talking to you. So I think that's something that we all can take away from this. But Scott, once you started about in the black and blue area, you were just flowing with enthusiasm, and you were smiling, and you were really engaged in telling the story. So overall, a good job. The items with the camera and looking at the screen are something that affect all of us, not just you. So thank you for sharing the fond memories of your grandparents.